Viewers, today we'll begin with the gynoecium, which is the female reproductive part of the flower. Gynoecium consists of one or more carpels. Carpels are also termed as pistil. Each carpel consists of three parts. They are stigma, style, and ovary. The basal swollen part is termed as ovary, which consists of a tube-like structure, elongated, called style. At the tip of the style, there is a bulbous structure called as stigma. This stigma is the receptive surface for pollen grains. Each ovary bears one or more ovules attached to a cushion-like structure called as placenta. This placenta, it is flattened cushion-like structure. When the gynoecium consists of more than one carpels, the carpels may be free. Then the condition is termed as apocarpus. You can see apocarpus condition in rows. And when the carpels are fused, the condition is termed as syncarpus. As you can see in mustard or tomato, many other members of Solanaceae also. After fertilization, ovary gets converted into fruit and ovules get converted into seeds. Now, what is placentation? I told you just now about the placenta, that ovary bears one or more ovules attached to a flattened cushion-like structure called as placenta. So the pattern of arrangement of ovules or the placenta within the ovary is called placentation. Placentation are of different types. They are marginal, axial, parietal, free central, and basal. Here you can see them on the screen. The first is the marginal. Here you can see on the screen the marginal placentation. This the topmost one, A, which is represented by A. So this A placentation, that is marginal. In this type, placenta forms a ridge along the ventral suture of the ovary, and the ovules are born in this ridge, forming two rows. Example P. Next type, that is the axial placentation. In the axial type, the placenta is axial and the ovules are attached to it in a multilocular ovary. Means the chambers are more than one. Therefore, it is termed as multilocular. Example China rose, tomato, lemon, etc. Next type is the parietal. Next type is the parietal. In this, the ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary, which is one-chambered, or become two-chambered due to formation of a false septum. False septum is visible in argemone, mustard, or in datura of Solanaceae family. In this, next is free central. Next is the free central. In this type, the ovules are born on central axis and the septa are absent. and the septa are absent. I repeat, the ovules are born on the central axis and the septa are absent. Example, dianthus and primrose. Next type, that is represented by E on the screen, is basal placentation. Here the placenta develops at the base of the ovary and single ovule is attached to it. Basal placentation can be seen in sunflower or marigold. So this way I told you the types of placentation, that means arrangement of ovules or the placenta within the ovary. Then the next we move on to the fruit. Now what is fruit? A fruit is a mature or ripened ovary. It is developed after the fertilization, means the ovary after the fertilization give rise to a fruit. It is a characteristic feature of the flowering plants. Fruit is a characteristic feature of the flowering plants. Next, you can find out certain seedless fruit also. So, if a fruit is formed without fertilization of the ovary, it is termed as parthenocarpic fruit. Example, banana. I repeat, if a fruit is formed without fertilization of the ovary, it is called parthenocarpic fruit or seedless fruit. Example, banana. In some cases, some floral parts other than the ovary also give rise to fleshy fruits. Such fruits are called as pseudocarp or false fruit. Such fruits are called as pseudocarp or false fruit. I repeat, in some cases, some floral parts other than the ovary, they may become fleshy and form the fruit. Such fruits are called as pseudocarp or false fruit. The fruits which develop only from ovary are called eucarps. EUCARPS means true fruits. Generally, a fruit consists of a wall called pericarp. Generally, a fruit consists of a wall called pericarp and seeds. Pericarp may be dry or fleshy. When the pericarp is fleshy, it is differentiated into outer layer called as epicarp, middle layer called mesocarp, and inner endocarp. In mango and coconut, fruit is called drupe. In mango and coconut, fruit is called as drupe, D-R-U-P-E. Such fruits develop from monocarpellary ovary, means single carpel, and here the ovary is superior and they are single seeded. Here they are single seeded and the ovary is superior. In mango, the mesocarp is fleshy and this mesocarp fleshy part is the edible part. In coconut, the mesocarp is fibrous and the seed with oily endosperm, that is edible. So, in coconut, the mesocarp is fibrous and the seed with oily endosperm is edible. Then the seed, a fertilized ovule, develops into a seed. It consists of a seed coat and an embryo. The embryo is made up of embryonical axis and one cotyledon, and you can see the presence of two cotyledons also. Example, in Gram's peas, One cotyledon example, wheat and the maize or the cereals. Then you study about the dicotyledonous seed. The outermost covering of the seed is the seed coat, which consists of two layers, the outer testa and the inner tegmen. A small scar called hilum is present on the seed coat, which represent the point where developing seed was attached to the fruit. Above the hilum is a small pore called micropyle, and within the seed coat lies an embryo. Within the seed coat lies an embryo. The embryo consists of an embryonic axis and the two cotyledons. The cotyledons are often fleshy and contain reserve food material. At the two ends of the embryonal axis are present the radicle and the plumule. In some seeds, such as castor, a food storing tissue called endosperm is present. Such seeds are called as endospermic seeds, while in others, such as pea, gram, beans, endosperm is absent in the mature seeds. Such seeds are called as non-endospermic seeds. Then we move on to the monocotyledonous seed. That is, example is maize. In this type, you can see over here on the screen the diagram of a maize seed, which is showing you the structure of a monocotyledonous seed. Here you can see on the screen, this is the A is the external view and the B is the LS of the grain. So here on the LS of the grain you can easily see that the seeds are endospermic with endosperm, but some are also non-endospermic without endosperm. Example, orchids. Then you can see the endosperm is bulky and stores food. Its outer layer, it's made up of proteinaceous layer and is called aileron layer, and the embryo is small and situated at one end of the endosperm. It consists of one large shield-shaped cotyledon called scutellum and a short axis with a plumule and a radicle. The plumule and radicle are enclosed in sheaths called coleoptile and coleorhiza respectively. Thus, you can say in the seeds of cereals such as maize, seed coat, there is this membranous, and this membranous covering is fused with the fruit wall, and such single seeded fruits are called as the grains, and therefore the monocotyledon seeds are endospermic. That means with endosperm. Endosperm is persisting. This way we end with the type of the seeds. Thank you.